Sergeant Hawk's log, 3/7/2137. I've spent the last 2 weeks of leave on Omicron 2 visiting relatives, and am now on my way to Station E03, where I will rendezvous with Falcon 1. It's been nice having some time to relax, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in the pilot's seat.
I have to say, Sergeant Hawk, it's a real honor to be ferrying around one of the crew of Falcon 1. I mean, since the whole Project Phoenix thing, you're all sort of celebrities back at the Academy.
How long have you been out of the Academy, crewman?
2 months, 3 weeks, 4 days.
And how are you liking being a planet hopper pilot?
Oh, it's not bad. I mean, it's a good way to see the galaxy. Well, this part of it anyway. I really want to be a patrol ship pilot, but I'm not exactly any commander's first choice. I failed my first year at the Academy, you see.
Can I let you in on a little secret? So did I.
Seriously? But you went straight from the Academy to Falcon 1.
Well, nepotism played a bit of a role there, I'm afraid. But I wouldn't worry if I were you. You're just starting out. Your career will take off.
I guess so. To tell the truth, I don't think I'm really cut out for the Space Guard.
What's going on?
I don't know. Something's causing the ship to shake.
Yeah, I'd figured that much out for myself.
I can't... My head...
What happened?
I don't know. My instruments are all dead. I'm not getting any readings.
Can we still move the ship?
No, I've got no control. Everything's dead.
And I think we may be about to go the same way. Look through the back porthole.
That's the biggest asteroid I've ever seen.
And we're right in its path.
We're done for. There's no way we can get the ship out of its path.
We're not done for yet. Where's the manual engine interface?
It's behind that panel.
Right. This is something they don't teach you at the Academy.
What did you do?
I overloaded the energy calibration circuits. It'll give us about 15 seconds of light speed. That should put us a few hours ahead of the asteroid.
Now what's happening?
We've dropped out of light speed inside the atmosphere of a planet. We're about to crash. Are you okay?
I think so.
Do you have any idea what planet this is?
The nearest planet to us before we blacked out was Omicron 9. This must be it. It's uninhabited, and it's not on any flight paths. It could take weeks for anybody to find us.
That's the least of our worries. That asteroid was on the same trajectory as us. So if we hit this planet, pretty soon it will too.
And an asteroid that size...
will turn this planet into lots of little planets. I better try to fix this ship. What was your name, by the way?
Willy, Carter. Crewman William Carter, sir.
Pleased to meet you, Willy. Let's get to work. The thrusters are beat up pretty bad. I don't know if we'll be able to get this ship off the ground. Hand me that micro-adjusting spanner.
Right. Sorry.
It's fine. Tell you what, why don't you have a look around? See if you can find out anything about this planet.
Okay. I'm an idiot. I dropped a spanner on a hero's foot. I'll never be a patrol ship pilot. Ah!
Who is you? Good friend?
I'm Willy. And assuming you use that spear on your enemies, I guess I'm a good friend. And you are?
Jim.
Jim?
Jim. The rector's going away now. Not back for a good time.
Right. That thing was a Ractus, was it?
Ractus.
Yes, good. Well, Jim, was it? Let's just go ahead and point that spear away from me. Good. Now, just stay there for a minute, Jim. I'm just going to get Sergeant Hawk!
We're in communications range of Station 05 now, sir.
Very good, Lieutenant. Falcon 1 to Station 05. We're here to pick up Sergeant Hawk. Do we have permission to dock?
That's negative, Falcon 1. Please hold for Station Administrator Adams. This is Administrator Adams here, Commander Ryder. The space hopper transporting your Sergeant Hawk is overdue and we're unable to make contact with her.
What? Copy that, 05. Have you begun a search?
We only have 2 space hoppers docked here, Falcon 1. They're not equipped for search and rescue operations.
Okay, 05. We'll begin a search. We'll keep you informed of our findings.
Copy that, Falcon 1. We're sending you information on their flight path. Good luck. 05 out.
Lieutenant, take us to Omicron 2, full light speed. We're going to retrace their steps.
Yes, sir.
Where do you think he's taking us?
I don't know. He seems friendly enough.
That spear doesn't look too friendly.
I wouldn't want to face a Raptors without one.
A what?
What's that through those trees? It looks like a ship. Maybe we can get off this planet.
I don't think that ship's going anywhere. It looks like an old Endeavour-class transporter. The early colonists used them, but they haven't been in use for about 80 years, and this one looks like it's been here for about that long.
Look, there are people inside. Lots of them.
Yes, and they all look about as wild as Jim here.
Home. You go inside, see cat.
They've clearly converted the ship into a primitive dwelling.
I don't see a cat, though.
I is cat.
You speak to cat. She is old and knows things.
All right. Hello, Cat. Can you tell us where we are?
Oh.
Yes, but I mean this planet. Is this Omicron 9?
Yes. This place is Omicron 9. That is what the originals called it.
The originals?
Many birthdays ago, when I was a small one, I was on this ship with my parents and many other people. Some small like me, others big like my parents. We were going to make home on Omicron 9, but on our way, we all fell asleep, even the big people driving the ship. When we woke up, the ship did not work and we crashed on Omicron 9. Fire destroyed most of the food and shelters we had in the ship, and many of the big people died in the crash. We could not build home here like we were going to. We were all sick and hungry. The big people gave the small ones their food and medicine. Soon they all died too, leaving only the small ones. I was the smallest of them all, only 2 birthdays. The other small ones raised me, keep me safe. Now I am the last of the originals. The big people said one day other big people would come to take us back to the first home. And now you have come.
Well, yes, I suppose, but...
We will not go. This is home. The big people wanted to live on Omicron 9. This is where we will stay.
It's not that simple. You see, there's an asteroid headed for this planet, a massive one. It could destroy the entire planet.
She doesn't understand. Without adults around, they haven't learned anything they didn't know as children. They don't know what an asteroid is.
Something is going to crash into your home, like the ship did. It will destroy everything. We need to find a way to get everybody off this planet.
We will not go.
I don't think these people are going to be any help.
No, we're going to have to work alone. Let's get back to the planet hopper. Maybe we can repair the radio.
Anything, Professor?
No. I'm detecting the thruster residue from their ship. It perfectly follows their flight path for about 35 light minutes, and then it dissipates. I can't tell if they changed course or kept going forward. The trail's gone completely cold.
At what point does the thruster residue stop?
It's impossible to say. My readings get fuzzy towards the end of the trail. They could be anywhere within a 2,000 parsec radius of the approximate endpoint of the trail.
So they could be just about anywhere.
Well, seeing as we're not detecting them on our scanners, I assume they're on one of the planets in the system.
Or they've been destroyed.
There's no reason to assume that. What are the nearest planets to their last known position, Professor?
Omicrons 8, 9, and 10.
Okay, we'll start at Omicron 8. Adjust our heading, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
As long as more than half the microtransistors are intact, we should be able to get the radio working.
Once you've contacted the Space Guard, how are we going to get these people off this planet?
I don't know. If Kat represents the will of her people, they're not going to leave willingly. That's if the Space Guard can get a transport ship here in time anyway.
I can't really blame them for wanting to stay. This is the only home they've ever known. And it's a bit of a paradise, really. Endless forest, mountains, and that lake down there must be the clearest water I've ever seen.
Okay, I think I've got it working again. The range is pretty limited though. It won't reach Station 05, but I'm willing to bet my ship is out looking for me. I just hope they're in range.
Nothing. I wasn't expecting anything, though. Omicron 8 is fairly heavily populated. I'm sure we would have heard something if they'd landed here.
This is Sergeant Hawk to Falcon 1. Sergeant Hawk to Falcon 1. Do you read me?
It's him!
Yes, Sergeant, we read you. Where are you?
We're on Omicron 9, sir. Our space hopper ran into some strange turbulence and we crash-landed here. The pilot and I are both okay, though.
Omicron 9, Lieutenant. Full light speed.
There's more, sir. There are a whole bunch of people on the planet. They're descendants of the Omicron 9 colonists.
The Lost Colonists? They were among the first interstellar colonization parties in human history. They set out for Omicron 9 nearly 80 years ago. They disappeared and were never heard from again. Reconnaissance missions in the mid-2110s didn't find any evidence that their ship ever made it to Omicron 9, though.
Well, I guess the search and rescue technology back then left a little to be desired, because there's about 100 people living in the wreckage of the ship that brought their ancestors here. One of the original colonists is even still alive.
We can send for a transport ship to pick them up as well.
They're not interested in leaving, but that's the least of our problems right now. While we went through that strange turbulence I told you about, we both passed out, and when we woke up, all the ship's instruments were dead, and there was a massive asteroid on our tail. I had to perform an emergency light-speed discharge to escape it, and that's how we ended up crashing on the planet. But the asteroid was on the exact same flight path as us. I've done some calculations based on how long we were at light speed, and I figure the asteroid will hit us in about an hour, maybe less. And I don't want to be here when it does.
We can't get 100 people aboard Falcon 1, and there's not nearly enough time for a transport ship to reach them. If we have as long as you say before the asteroid reaches you, I may be able to figure out a way to divert it, or destroy it if necessary.
That ought to satisfy everybody down here, Professor. The locals are pretty attached to this place. I'm glad they're not going to have to lose it.
We're approaching Omicron 9 now, sir. Dropping out of light speed.
Okay, locate that asteroid, Professor. Let's see what we're dealing with.
There's something wrong. I'm not detecting the asteroid.
That's impossible. By my calculations, it should be almost on top of us.
Increase the radius of your scans, Professor.
Already have. I'm still not seeing it. Sergeant, tune your radio to a wide spectrum dispersal beam, and transmit it back to me as an interrupted tone generator.
What are you trying to find out, Professor?
I have a suspicion, and I hope it's wrong.
Okay, Professor. I'm transmitting the tone to you now.
We have a problem. The tone generator is giving me a picture of the star system in your area, Sergeant. And according to this, you're not on Omicron 9.
What are you talking about? Where are we then?
According to this, the only planet you could be on is Omega 20.
But that's halfway across the galaxy.
How could the Sergeant have made it to the Omega system?
The more important question is, how are we going to get there?
I don't think that matters. By the time you get here, we won't be.
Omega 20 is nearly 3 weeks away at full light speed. What are we going to do?
The Sergeant got there somehow, and so will we.
Sergeant, describe that strange turbulence that knocked you out in more detail.
Well, there was this strange noise like a train going by. Then there was a blinding flash and we passed out. When we woke up, all our instruments had failed.
There's only one possible explanation. You must have passed through a wormhole. They're incredibly rare and incredibly hard to detect. You and the Omicron 9 party must have stumbled on one somewhere in this system.
How could a wormhole in the middle of the Omicron system have gone unnoticed for so long?
Even if it's the size of a football field, it's still a tiny dot compared to the entire system.
So how are we going to find it?
And if the Sergeant is clear across the galaxy, how is his radio signal reaching us?
Yes, that's it. It's coming through the wormhole. Sergeant, generate the tone again, and oscillate the frequency at 3000 Hertz.
Right, Professor.
Okay, I've used the tone to pinpoint its source. I'm setting the coordinates to your console, Lieutenant.
Okay, Sergeant, we're on our way. I don't know how we're going to deal with this asteroid, but you should gather all the colonists together. We'll need to act quickly, whatever we do.
Right, sir.
Full light speed, Lieutenant.
Way ahead of you, sir.
Willy, my ship's on the way. We have to gather all the colonists together.
Are they going to be able to save the planet?
I don't know yet.
The sun sure goes down quickly on this planet, doesn't it?
The sun's not going down. The asteroid. It's on its way.
We're approaching the coordinates of the wormhole, sir.
Okay, Bob. Wormhole theory states that the larger the vessel traveling through it, the greater the resonance frequency generated within the vessel. It's the resonance frequency that knocks people out. Judging by the size of Falcon 1, we'll be unconscious for several minutes once we're out of the wormhole. So you'll need to pilot the ship until we regain consciousness. Is that clear?
It was perfectly clear before the long-winded explanation. That's 30 seconds of my life I'll never get back. I could have boiled half an egg in that time, if I liked eggs, or ate food, which I don't.
Bob, this is serious.
I know. That's why I'm using my serious voice.
Are we ready, Professor?
Ready when you are, sir.
If you don't mind, I'd just like a moment to compose myself.
You can take it out of the 30 seconds you lost in my long-winded explanation, Bob.
Touché.
You'd better take over the controls now, Bob.
I bet you lot wouldn't travel through a wormhole to save me.
If you were on the other side of a wormhole, Bob, we would have put you there.
Alright, take us in, Bob.
Oh good, you're up. Now maybe I can get back to sleep.
What's the situation, Bob?
Well, that big grey blobby thing in front of us is the asteroid. And the big blue round object behind it is the planet. I'd say the asteroid is about 3 minutes away from entering the planet's atmosphere.
There's no time to divert the asteroid.
Falcon 1 to Sergeant Hawk. Falcon 1 to Sergeant Hawk. Do you read me? Switch it off, Lieutenant. We can't contact the Sergeant.
What are we going to do, Professor?
There's nothing else we can do. We'll have to destroy it. But how? It's far too big for our lasers to have any effect.
What about the forward cannon?
No, that's no good either. The best the forward cannon can do is knock a few chunks off it.
We need to do something, Professor.
I know! Lieutenant, play that static we were getting through the radio again.
Okay.
I've never heard interference like that before.
What do you think it could be?
The resonance frequency. It's the resonance frequency from the wormhole acting on the asteroid.
But the asteroid didn't pass through the wormhole. Or the sergeant and the pilot would have seen it before they entered.
Not necessarily. Wormhole theory suggests that objects passing through them experience a time distortion, and the distortion is more severe in objects of greater mass. For objects the size of Falcon 1 or the Planet Hopper, the distortion is minuscule, but for something the size of the asteroid it would be much greater. which means it could have entered the wormhole long before the planet hopper and exited shortly after it. I'm certain we are hearing the resonance frequency from the wormhole, and if we can amplify that resonance, we could shatter the asteroid.
Alright, it's our best bet. How do we do it, Professor?
Lieutenant, switch on the radio and transmit the static at full volume right back at the asteroid. The sound should begin to feedback exponentially until the asteroid can't handle it anymore.
Okay, here it goes.
You did it, Professor!
Yes, it's not one big asteroid anymore. It's thousands of little ones. There's going to be a massive meteor shower on the planet.
Can we contact the Sergeant now?
Yes, the interference will be gone now the asteroid's gone.
Falcon 1 to Hawk. Falcon 1 to Hawk. Do you read me?
I read you, sir. I don't know what you did, but the sun's out again.
Don't celebrate yet. There's going to be a meteor shower coming your way. You'll need to get the colonists to shelter as fast as possible.
Right, sir. We've gathered all the colonists together. One of them says there are caves nearby. We'll head over there now. Hawk out.
Hiding caves this way.
Is everybody keeping up, Willy?
Looks like we've got everybody. Sergeant, the meteors are coming!
This hiding cave.
Okay, quick, everyone inside.
Wait. Rectus inside. They are quick. They will be safe.
Okay, let's get inside now. You really saved our necks down here, Professor.
Yes, although it's a shame we couldn't get here in time to divert the asteroid altogether. It's a real mess down here.
You saved everyone on the planet, Professor. That's what's important.
Much thank you for making us safe as the sky rocks fell, Hawk.
Home is gone.
We've been doing some research, Kat. Your name is Catherine Norton, and you have relatives back on Earth. If you want to come back,
No! This is home. It is broken, but we will fix it. The big people died to make home here for us. We will not go.
But your shelter is gone, and the forest has been devastated.
We will stay and make home again.
We all stay.
Well, okay. We'll send a Space Guard representative to help you rebuild.
Commander, if it's okay, I'd like to volunteer to stay with them.
Are you sure, Willy?
Yeah, I'll never be a good pilot. I've been thinking for a while that I'll never be able to find a post in the Space Guard that I'm suited to. But a chance to help rebuild Paradise? That sounds like something I can do.
Well, okay, if you're sure. I'll have to contact your supervisor, but I think they'll approve the transfer. We'd better return to Falcon 1.
Are you looking forward to getting back in the pilot seat, Sergeant?
I can't wait. I just hope our next patrol route doesn't take us near any wormholes.